diddly-doo, 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 diddly-doo. Yeah, that's right. It worked. I mean, it worked for Wayne and Garth. Why wouldn't it work for me? Hey everybody, it's Stuart with Wine on the Dime, and today I have a rosé for you. But before we get into that rosé, if you end up liking this review, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like, share it with your friends, and possibly leave a comment. Alright, so today I have the 2019 Vino Rosé. It's a Charles Smith wine from Washington State. It is 12% alcohol by volume, and I paid $12 for it at my local grocery store, H-E-B. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna get my huge white paper so I can get this properly. Oh, also screw topless one. So a long time ago, I reviewed his Eve Riesling, and I thought it was pretty good, but I haven't really touched any of his stuff since then, and I don't know why, because I actually enjoyed that wine. So today I was out and was looking around, and I found a rosé, and I was like, well, might as well pick it up and take a look at it. And then possibly smell it and drink it as well. So let's get to that first step. Let's take a look. From a color standpoint, ooh, you are pale. You are, and this is weird because it kind of looks copperish from the side. When you put it down, it's almost water white in the center. Since there's really no orange that I can see through the top, I'm just gonna say that you are a very, very pale pink. No artifacts, no cloudiness. All right, so let's get to the nose. Huh, so this is exactly what I thought it was gonna be. It kind of falls a little bit more towards a mix of what you get out of sort of a French rosé and an Italian rosé. This is 100% Sangio, by the way. Yeah, I'm kind of getting this like red fruit, like a little bit of like a candied raspberry, a little touch of bubble gum. There's a little bit of like a citrus blossom going on in there. There's also just a little bit of red cherry, red apple. It's like a very sweet smelling apple. It's not candied like that raspberry is. It's almost like it's like a honey. What? I'm trying to remember the name of the apple now. It's like a honey crisp apple, something like that. Yeah. And then there's also like a little bit of a touch of cantaloupe in here. But yeah, some good primaries. But let's see how it tastes. Medium plus acid, medium minus body, no noticeable tannins. Whoa, that fruit, this hits you pretty hard. But the thing that's actually surprising is there's a reasonable amount of minerality that's coming into this wine. It's medium minus on the nose intensity too. So it's like the nose is a little bit flipped compared to the palate, just like the amount of acid's a little bit flipped compared to the body. Medium minus finish. It's not clean, but doesn't stick around for too long. Yeah, this is just sort of like a nondescript rosé. If you wanted to have a wine to enjoy with some like meat and cheese plate, like a charcuterie board or something like that, and you don't want to go red, then this would work. I mean, it can hold its weight a little bit against the fattiness and some proteins and nuts and stuff that's on those types of plates because of the acid. But also, it's not super powerful. It does have a little bit of a funkiness to it in the finish after a little bit. But that's because that kind of citrus blossom note that I was getting up front almost becomes a little bit astringent. And the way to get rid of that is by probably eating something or taking another sip of the wine. So especially if you're Charles Smith selling this wine, having people take more sips of it in order to get rid of that taste probably isn't a bad thing for you from a bottom line standpoint. But with all that being said, let's get into the blick. From a balance standpoint, you're almost in balance. With this much acid, I would actually like to have a little bit more, just a little bit more body. But the other thing that I'm missing out on this, and it's kind of falls into one of the later categories, but I'm missing a little bit of the intensity to kind of match that palate intensity. There is a bit of a mismatch there, which kind of goes into the overall balance. But I will ding that on that one. So in this case, I'm going to give you half a point. Length, medium minus finish, no points. Intensity, half a point. And the big reason for this is because you have a medium plus intensity on the palate, you have a medium minus intensity on the nose. And even then on the palate, some of those things are a little bit out of balance in terms of what you're getting intensity with when. So I wish that this was a little bit more uniform in its intensity, but it's not like not there. It's kind of weird at first. And I'm wondering if letting this wine breathe a little bit would help with that, but I mean, I don't tend to typically do that with rosés very much. And then finally, going into complexity, you do have a pretty big breadth of fruits. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you half a point. I don't expect any tertiary, and the only other things I could probably expect would be maybe if you did decide to do some sort of barrel treatment or rest on lees, or do some sort of like mallow. But you didn't do those things, just a ton of fruit, give you half a point. In the end, that's 1.5 points. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna give you okay. I'm gonna give you okay. You're not a bad wine, and like I said, it has its purpose, but it's by far not the favorite rosé that I've had in a while. Anyway, this has been Stuart with Wine on the Dime. If you liked today's video, please like, subscribe, and comment. Have you had the 2019 Vino Rosé from Charles Smith? Be interested to know if you have. Leave a comment below, and I'll see y'all again soon with another episode from Wine on the Dime.